So in this video, I'm going to be ranking every way that I make my money working in Singapore according to all these different tiers. Everyone on the internet seems to have 20 million different income sources, but you probably only have one, which is your job. I've been working tirelessly in Singapore for the last 5 years and I've tried so many things that have failed so miserably in my face. However, these are some of the things that have succeeded, but they have taken me so much time, energy and money to put together. So hopefully at the end of this video, you'll be able to determine for yourself which income source is perfect for you and not waste time wandering in the dark. So the first income stream that we'll be ranking is money market funds. Full transparency, I've only been investing in them for the last 5 to 6 months, so these are the results and experience so far. These are basically funds that the Momo Singapore app offers as a way to invest your money so as to get a decent amount of returns but still keeping it relatively liquid, meaning that you can withdraw your money anytime that you need them. So how it works is that these funds invest into very low risk short-term investments and they are very closely related to the interest rates globally. So right now I am invested into the CSOP money market fund and I have around 9,000 US dollars invested. It currently pays around 4.26 in annual interest, but the good thing is that it pays you daily. So for the whole month of December, I earned a total of $40 in USD, which is around $54 Singapore dollars. I honestly really like that it's really liquid and you can withdraw your money anytime. I had to withdraw 1,000 USD the other day and it was actually almost instant when I withdrew from this fund. It doesn't pay a lot on a daily basis, I'm going to be very honest about that, but it's really very close to what people think is passive income because I literally did nothing for the last 5 to 6 months and I've just been earning this money very passively. I would rank this a B tier because of how easy it is to get started and it requiring no active effort at all. And that brings us to the next biggest income stream, which is the dividends. Dividends is the holy grail on the internet, which is what everybody is fighting their hardest lives for. You basically want to invest so much money until your entire portfolio is so fat and chunky as hell and it pays you dividends every year to sustain your life infinitely in that sense. This is the true passive income that everyone is so obsessed with, and that's why I started this experiment right about 2 years ago investing into the Singapore savings bonds. It pays around 3% per year and there are 2 dividend payouts every year. So there's this strategy called the bond ladder, which basically means that you buy it every single month for 6 months, and since it pays you twice a year, you will now receive dividends every single month for the next 10 years combined. I invested around $35,000 split into 6 different months, and in the month of December, it paid me around $17.25. This is a bit different compared to the money market funds because it locks in the interest rate for a longer period of time, which is that 10 years that I mentioned before. The money market funds are also affected by the interest rates of the US, so it could decline rapidly at any point in time and there's no interest locked in for that one. This income stream is also pretty passive because I just had to buy it 6 times in a row and now I don't have to do anything anymore for the next 10 years. It just deposits money into my bank account every month and I'm smiling to myself every time I get this money, which is pretty nice. Okay, maybe just at the beginning, I'm actually a little bit immune to it right now, but you know, it is what it is. Because of all those reasons, I will actually put this into the B tier as well, along with the money market funds. But if these 2 income streams don't interest you, the next one will likely be something that you really need in your life. And that brings us to income stream number 3, which is having a high interest bank account. So everyone needs a bank account to put their money in, right? But don't tell me that you keep your money as cash underneath your bed and you hug it every night to sleep. That's insane. Don't do that. I use the UOB One bank account to keep my money liquid and also earn a decent interest on it. So the UOB One bank account has 2 requirements for it to work. Number 1 is that you need to deposit $1,600 of salary every month into it, and number 2 is that you need to spend $500 minimally every single month on a credit card. So I use the UOB One credit card so that I can also earn cash back from it. If you do not meet any of these requirements, then I suggest you pick a different bank or just scrap this income source entirely. So I keep around $40,000 in this bank account and it pays me around 3% interest every year. So in December, it paid me a total of $101.70. Finally, we are hitting that 3 digits, which is very exciting. It's also pretty passive where I just need to pay now from my DBS bank account to my UOB account whenever I get my salary, and then I just spend accordingly on the credit card. I hope you're seeing a pattern here about my income sources being passive because I'm honestly a very lazy person and I just like to settle things once and for all and let it run on autopilot for the future. This works really well for now, but you never know when the interest rates will reduce as well, and ideally you want to invest more of this money into higher return investments like stocks. So for that, I'll rank this income source as C tier because it has all these requirements and the interest rate is not guaranteed in the long run. And that brings us to income stream number 4, which is options income. This is one of the most difficult and riskiest investments that I have, and I absolutely do not recommend this for beginners. Trading options is difficult because it has leverage involved and people generally do not understand enough of it to get started and do it properly. But the moment leverage comes into the picture, everybody is like, whoa, damn, I can earn earn 10x more because of all the leverage I can get. Let me just sign up for it straight away. Yes, that's true to some extent, but you can also lose 10 times more. So always think about the downside first instead of considering whether the upside is worth it. So I've been selling options for a couple of years now, and I only do it on Alibaba stock, but I might consider doing it for other stocks in the future. Right now I'm using around $40,000 to $50,000 for this stocks option strategy, so it's really quite capital intensive when you are selling options. I usually earn around $200 to $300 on average. Good months like the last few months, I think in November and October, I was earning somewhere in the ballpark of $800 to $1,000, which is really nice, and that's not the norm. But for the month of December, I earned $236.25 from selling Alibaba options. This is not very passive, but at the same time, it only requires a bit of my time every month since I only do it once a month. The only problem is that you need a huge amount of capital to get started, so it's not exactly beginner friendly, and you also need to have a lot of education and a lot of knowledge on options before you're able to really understand it. So depending on what happens to the price of the stock as well, you'll likely have a lot of that money stuck in the stock as well if it goes against you. For that, I'll rank this as a C tier as well, and that brings us to the segment that I am personally most excited by. The fifth income source is YouTube income. So my YouTube channel is something that I started a little bit more as a passion project to escape my 9 to 5 1.5 years ago because I was so burnt out from work. Finally, I haven't quit my job yet because number one, YouTube pays like crap, and number two, I've started to enjoy my job a lot more since I started YouTube. It's honestly so ironic that the thing that I started to escape my 9 to 5 job has helped me to enjoy my job so much more. There are a couple of ways of earning from YouTube, and one of them is AdSense. You need to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time to qualify for this. After that, even though you see a lot of YouTubers earning tons of money from AdSense, for the average individual like you and me, it pays almost nothing because you need to have a lot of views, like hundreds of thousands to millions, in order to earn decent money. To put things into perspective, I earn around $60 to $70 a month from AdSense, but I pay over $500 for editing. So I'm still in a deficit every month. You think my YouTube channel is making money? No, I'm losing money every month, but I'm okay with the putting in this kind of amount of effort and time and money in order to get this small business started. So the other way you can earn from YouTube is through affiliate marketing. For my videos, I have related links in the description box below, so when people click on those links and they sign up, I usually get a bit of a small referral fee at no cost to them. Again, this is quite difficult to earn a hefty sum from this because you need a lot of traffic, which means you need to have a lot of views and people come converting through your links. But in December, I was able to earn the highest I ever did, which was a whopping $491.69 from YouTube income. It requires a tremendous amount of effort, time, and money to produce YouTube videos in order to earn this small amount of money. I can say that I put in around 5 to 10 hours of effort every single week for the past 1.5 years, and I've spent more than $10,000 on my channel to earn this measly $500. So it's honestly a good start from earning alternate income, but this is far from passive income. I would actually rate starting a YouTube channel for money as F tier. It is the lowest of all tiers. However, I also see it as a pseudo S tier because if my channel is able to experience more significant growth in the future, it might just explode and earn me thousands of dollars easily every month, easily surpassing my full-time income. So I'm still hoping for that to happen, and I'll continue to put out videos for as long as I can and enjoy myself. The last income stream will be my full-time job. I'm working as a physio in a private clinic in Singapore, and I was very lucky to have stumbled into this because not only is it fun and fulfilling, it pays very well in my opinion as well. But of course, that's only if you are in the private setting. The public sectors and the hospitals don't pay as well. In December, I was able to earn $9,173.40 after CPF deductions, and that's me working on a 40-hour work week. It's obviously not going to be passive because I need to turn up for work every week and do my best to treat my patients, but I honestly do enjoy it quite a bit. I just need to have a break every 2 or 3 months so that I can reset myself from everyone's problems and all. It's obviously not sunshine and rainbows every single day when I go to work, don't get me wrong. I do dread some days as well when I have difficult patients, but generally it's not so bad. I don't have such strong, Monday blues and, struggling to wake up on Mondays to go to work. I would actually rate this an A tier because of how well compensated I am and how much fun I have doing this. All in all, this is how I would rank all my income sources based on how passive they are, how well they pay me, and how much I enjoy it. Hopefully this video helps you to determine which income source you want and get that started as soon as possible. If you enjoyed this video here, then you'll probably enjoy this video here on how to invest on the Momo Singapore app as a beginner. Thanks for watching, have an amazing day as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next few videos. Bye bye.